Student debt. With the American workforce constantly demanding for a college education, student loan debt is only on the rise. There are over 40 million Americans with student loan debt and an accumulated $1.26 trillion in total. Student debt is the debt owed by people who are attending or have attended college. The debt is accumulated by taking out loans in order to pay for educational expenses.
But it's a big number, $1.2 trillion. But when you actually get under the hood and look at what is actually happening with students, particularly low-income students, they're being saddled with packages that are unsustainable right from the start, and they're not graduating. So they're getting in the worst situation possible, which is they're getting the debt that comes with college, but without the degree because of financial issues. And that means that they don't have the extra earning power that the degree would give them, but they have the extra burden of college debt.
So, why isn't our government stepping in?
College tuition prices are a separate problem in itself, meaning that the state controls the cost, not the federal government itself. However, our government does have the option with helping with student loan debt, but of course there are pros and cons to that too. The more free college tuition becomes, the lower the risk it is to have a degree in itself, meaning that the more people that have a degree means the harder the job industry becomes. Some state that student debt isn't necessarily a bad thing, and that the better your degree is, the more likely you are to be able to pay off that debt in the future. Holding debt is one giant domino effect. A majority of people holding student debt say that they can't take out loans for other things such as cars and houses. The more money being saved means the less money going into our economy, which results in a weaker economy. Overall, America has over $1 trillion in student debt alone, which means $1 trillion isn't flowing around in our economy. And that's alarming.
The students are choking on those loans. They can't pay them back. Before they start, they're in trouble. And it's something I hear more and more, and it's one of the things I hear more than anything else. Our kids are going into life with massive debt that many of them feel they'll never be able to pay off. We have to help them.
We believe our government needs to focus on helping students' debt due to the impact on our economy. If our student debt loans get worse, then it would take a major hit on our economy, which in turn will impact the flow of money. Demands for college degrees are increasing in great numbers, which means our debt is too. The main reason for the high demand is because students with a degree working full-time tend to earn greater amounts than those who have a high school diploma. There are jobs that search for students with bachelor's degrees. But due to the little number of students that have one, they end up with a small turnout rate, which also can affect the job industry as well.
Student loans have become the most common source of debt among 18 to 24-year-olds, while the debt overall has increased by 500% since 1999. This increase has led to Americans owing more student debt than credit card debt.
As a senior, it worries me about my student loan debt in the future because I'm going to college soon and I'm worried about how I'm going to pay it off.
The cost of college and the debt that it puts people into is actually insane, and the government, since it has all these funds that should be dedicated to the Board of Education, it seems unreasonable that the Board of Education wouldn't put some funding into student education, especially when it's putting people in crippling debt.
College loan debt is a rising problem because it forces people to work their entire lives for something that only took them 4 years.
College loan debt is only a problem if you go to college.
Living in a family with 4 children, it's going to be hard for my parents to pay for all of us to go to college, so I'm not on board with the college debt idea. I kind of wish it was a lot cheaper.
Well, trying to go into med school, college tuition and student debt can be a huge obstacle, but luckily there's the option of joining the Army, but not everybody has that opportunity.
And solve the student loan crisis. It's a crisis, very unfair.
In the 5 minutes of this video, There has been $900,000 of student loans that have occurred nationally. Student debt is a growing problem and should be at the top of President Trump's to-do list.